Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
Hello, and welcome back to Previously on Teen TV. I'm JIllian Benani, and we have another very special episode for you today with a special guest. He's my fiancé, lover, and sometimes producer of this podcast when producer Jesse is out. He's finally out from behind the desk. It's Tyler Branch.
Hello, JIllian. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Welcome to the pod. Are you
I'm
excited?
honored. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Hello,
Very
producer
fun.
Jesse. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wow, I threw her off with
I wasn't
that.
ready.
Yeah, wow,
My
you're
mic-
coming in
Wow.
hot. He's
didn't
coming
have
I'm
my
in
coming in
mic
hot.
on.
I'm acknowledging the room, saying
was-
hi to everyone.
He was begging me to come on this podcast.
Wow, for this classic.
Did you want me to give you a little bit more of an intro? How was that?
I think that was good.
You didn't
what
want
did
me
you call
to
me
say-
again? Your fiance?
I said fiancé,
lover?
lover, and sometimes producer.
Sure.
That's really all the people
Not
need to know.
stepbrother.
Not stepbrother. Thank God.
Tell them what we're covering.
So, the Cruel Intentions TV show has just come out, which we will be covering as well on this podcast. But Tyler had never seen the Cruel Intentions movie before, so we decided what better time to talk about Cruel Intentions, the teen movie classic.
Yeah, I'd never seen this.
I mean,
What a movie.
what a movie. I had not seen it in a bit, and I was like, whoa, I forgot about a lot of this.
I had seen like a lot of it parodied in culture. I'm a big fan of Not Another Teen Movie, the Chris Evans classic, and a lot of this movie is parodied in that. And I feel like just in general in culture, I'd heard this movie like referenced, but I had never seen it.
Well, what did you think this movie was going to be? Did it?
I used to get this confused with Wild Things. I
Oh,
thought they
yeah.
were the same movie because I feel like the covers kind of look similar. Of like, I just
Fair.
felt like these were like threesome movies or something. I didn't know what it was.
Well, this one's maybe a little close.
I was like, this is way harder than a threesome movie.
Wild
Threesome
things are
movies-
happening.
Threesome movies tame compared to what's going on in this movie.
And with teenagers.
Well, once again, I was like, how old are these people? Like, this is a teen movie, right? But
Yes.
like, and I know there's the headmaster plot line, but like, it doesn't, I don't get the impression anyone's going to school or like,
Well, it's summer.
but they're always in their like, war room plotting.
I know. It doesn't seem like much school is happening on the Upper East Side. Well, this is the first Upper East Siders we were introduced to pre-Gossip Girl.
Do you think this had like a big influence on all those shows?
100%.
Really? I've never really watched Gossip Girl, but this is a lot like that.
I was literally like, wow, Gossip Girl was so inspired by this. Just the Upper East Side of it all, the scheming, the plotting. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this, like, it's just very similar to Gossip Girl.
It feels like they're happening in the same universe.
Yes,
Like when
yeah.
I had the same thought because I watched this a few months ago too, and I was like, oh my God, it is Gossip Girl. It's just like another part of Gossip Girl.
And I guess I never really put that together before because I saw Cruel Intentions first. But I was literally like, oh, I feel like Sebastian's character is like Carter Bazin in Gossip Girl. Let's do a remake of Cruel Intentions with Sebastian Stan. That would be good.
So, Ryan Felipe, had you seen? I had never seen him in anything before. I don't think I've ever
No.
seen any movies of his or anything.
No, he wasn't. I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I had not really seen that before I saw this, I don't think. This is like his star-turning movie.
Was he like one of the like 2000s like heartthrobs? Was he like Josh Hartnett? Was he like on his corner, like kind of that stuff? Not at all.
I
or-
mean, I think I had him on a binder at school.
Oh,
like
he was
his
a binder
photo.
boy.
Yeah, he was definitely on the binder of boys that I had.
who all was on the binder?
Josh Hartnett.
Okay.
Oh my God, the guy from A Walk to Remember, Shane West.
Okay.
Like Brad Pitt was on it, Ben Affleck.
This is like the whole poker table at Ocean's 11 was
Yeah.
on your binder.
Yeah, it was, men. Some men are still popular today and some we haven't heard from in a bit.
Was Joshua Jackson on that binder?
I don't think he was, because that was like in the 90s, and this was, I was in like the OC guys were on the binder. This was like middle school JIllian.
Yeah.
But when we were watching this movie, I thought, all right, Ryan, I'm here for it. I thought he was great.
He had those little 90s glasses, which I thought were kind of fun. And I feel like they're starting to come back a little bit now. Like, I was like, those are kind of cool.
They just remind me of like a middle-aged woman in like a Nancy Meyers movie. But he shockingly could pull them off. Like, that's a lot.
And Catherine's outfits really come back with like the corset and everything.
I was like, I want that outfit. I mean, I wouldn't wear it for my stepbrother, but I want that outfit.
Okay, so we didn't talk about the movie after we watched it. We basically sat in silence.
We did. We did not speak, which was rare for us.
So, what did you think of Cruel Intentions?
So I haven't seen it in a while, and I gotta say, I still love this movie. I mean, it's so fun. It's campy. It's crazy. It's wackadoo. This movie is a classic. Like, this was a sleepover movie. This was a movie that I first saw with a bunch of girls, all climbing into a bed, watching late at night when we're teenagers. And I thought this was the best thing I'd ever seen. I was like, I love the provocativeness. I was like, should I be watching this? Am I old enough to be seeing this? So it was like all of you were watching this at like a sleepover and like, ooh, like I can't believe, like our parents don't know what we're watching kind of thing. Yeah, I felt that vibe of like, oh my God, I hope my mom doesn't walk in right now. Like it felt like, ooh, like just very like inappropriate kind of. Well, it's an R-rated movie.
I think you still felt like that watching it with me. I feel like you were like shy and hiding as the scenes were happening.
I don't think I spoke.
Just dead silent watching it on our couch.
I was like, this is still kind of hot.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
what was your favorite couple in it? Who were you?
I mean, I'm always rooting for the step-siblings.
The step-siblings is who you want to end up together? No, I love Annette and Sebastian, Reese and Ryan. I mean, I'm rooting for them the whole movie. Are you, though? I mean, he's like... It is kind of an amazing trick this movie pulls, that it gets you to root for Sebastian, who's kind of just objectively an awful guy throughout. The movie opens with he's doing revenge porn on an ex-girlfriend. And somehow by the end, we're like, yay, your manifesto. Like,
we love a bad boy on this podcast.
But
he's bad. He's real bad.
Annette changed him. He was good by the end. He was great. He had sex with her and it totally changed him.
How did she change him? He just like...
She did that little goofy face and he was like, I don't need to be this scheming guy. I can just be in love and be happy.
Nobody laughs on the Upper East Side, and she got him to laugh. Yeah,
exactly. Right, by doing that goofy face for about 5 minutes, it seemed. It wouldn't end. You didn't think he changed?
Well, so... Again,
we need your review of this movie.
Okay, so...
Before we get too into the weeds here. Like, my overall review is like, we got to give credit where credit is due. And I feel like this movie did a lot for teen movies, the teen genre. It was so different, so crazy, so out there that's why I love it.
So yeah, I'd never seen it. Had no idea what it was about. I would say that the plot is pretty convoluted. The script's kind of a mess. The pacing's all over the place. And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought mainly because the performances and the dialogue is so off the charts over the top that, like, I just love that. Like, I thought that was so... Because, like... So... this really opened my eyes up to what Saltburn is, because you could really see how much like Emerald Fennell was inspired by this movie when she made Saltburn.
100%.
And Saltburn's a movie I don't like, But
Which I get very mad at you about
Lots of
that.
people yell at me about that. Love it. But I think why I love this so much more than Saltburn is because this movie like knows what it is from scene one.
Exactly.
And is like smacking you over the head with it of like everyone's going for campy performance. Like even the therapist when she's like bill for that book later and stuff, like they're trying to make you understand immediately like this is all like winking.
Yeah.
Every piece of this. And like it's not trying to have it both ways, like I kind of think Saltburn does, of trying to be like we're kind of an awardsy kind of movie. Like it's like no, this is full camp juiciness. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, some of the scenes are crazy. That second scene of Sebastian and Catherine plotting goes on for like 12 minutes straight of them just in a room talking. Like it's kind of insane.
Talking and flirting and maybe on top of each other or touching inappropriately.
Pacing in movies has changed that we're still in this room. But like I enjoyed the performance of it. And what great performances for them to carry it that long.
They also are coming up with 2 schemes. I was like, could this have just been one or something? We're in 2 separate schemes.
I was writing down the plot and I was like, okay, yeah, so the big plot is that they're gonna like have the bet about Annette. And then I was like, oh wait, no, that's really the B plot. That's the B bet because like it opens with she's getting revenge on Court, her ex-boyfriend. And so it's like, it's a lot to keep in your head because it's like dueling schemes happening at the same time.
I think, though, that's why the movie works is because it's trying to be camp. It wasn't not trying to be that way. I mean, it knows what it is. And I think that's why it, like, still holds up. I mean, look, a lot of it is, like, cringe and whatnot, but you know what you're getting into. And it's just fun. Like, this is fun at the movies.
This is a movie where Catherine says the words, I hate it when things don't go my way. It makes me so horny. Like, this movie is trying to tell you this is a joke and we're having an amazing time performing this. Like, this is like pure camp. It was great.
Well, and I feel like the audience, even at the time, like, was responding to it. Like, this movie did, I think, pretty well. Like, maybe not at the box office, but, like, it's a sleepover movie where, like, every girl is popping that in at every sleepover.
I didn't know this was such a sleepover. I wasn't at the sleepovers. I didn't know. I never saw it.
Well, you didn't have a step-sibling, or maybe you might have been.
I think we were watching American Pie. The other teen movie of 1999.
Yeah. Well, that's more of a boy movie.
Yeah.
This is like, I feel like Cruel Intentions is a really good, like, girl sexy movie.
But they're both virginity movies. And, like, I do think 99 had all these, like, was kind of like like there'd been all those 80s movies kind of talking about like that. But, like, I feel like for our generation, it was just, like, from, like, 99 with, like, Cruel Intentions, American Pie, American Beauty's about that, like all the way through like, 40-Year-Old Virgin, all the way up to like Easy A. It was like the whole 2000s felt like very obsessed with this like
with virginity
and losing your virginity. I tried to see if Letterboxd had a list of virginity bet movies, and they didn't have one, so I might have to make one.
There's
I'm going to
so
do the
many.
work. I'm going to do the work.
We're going to look out for that.
The virginity bet movie list coming to Letterboxd.
I do kind of love a virginity movie. Like, I don't love the premise of like we're obsessed with girls' virginities, but like it was such an era and like a sliver in time, and it's so crazy how obsessed with virginity we were at the time. And even in this movie of like Annette writing in Cosmopolitan or Teen People or whatever, about why she's waiting.
I forgot about that. How did she get a guest article in Cosmopolitan? What was that?
She is from Kansas
Was
City.
that a thing? Did y'all read this? Like Cosmo or anything?
Yeah,
and they would have guest articles by girls?
I think sometimes, like, if it was, like, a topic, like, I feel like I read a couple on, like, TSS, toxic shock syndrome. Like, I got toxic shock syndrome. Here's what happened. Or, you know, I got my period on a date. Here's what happened.
I will say that was a good idea for an article for her, because like that could be like a viral like Twitter thread right now of like, here are the reasons I'm staying a virgin till marriage. Like
it's like a TikTok. It's like, here's why I'm staying a virgin till marriage. Reason 1, reason 2.
That would be a net now.
Yeah, and that would be a TikTok star.
She would kill it.
Yeah. We got to talk a little bit about the actors in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's do it.
Reese kills it as Annette for me. Like, I was like, this girl is a star. A star is born. She was so good.
She pops off the screen. Because, like, I will say, though, she's doing a slightly less campy thing than the other two.
She's in a different movie.
So, it, like...
She's in a rom-com, and everyone else is in, like, this schemey, like, ridiculous camp movie. And I feel like, did she read the rest of the plot? Like, because her scenes are more rom-com based.
She was trying out for future movies in this movie. And
Smart.
the rest of them, I feel like, got like, oh, boy, yeah, you're not in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Reese went on such a run at this time. Well, I do think she was in Election this year, too, which she was nominated for a Golden Globe for and, like, really, like, kicked her off. So I think she was probably... getting to be the star of that, which became like such a like awards kind of movie. I feel like probably she was taking herself a little more seriously of like where I'm going. And like Reese just...
And it's like, we don't care. We just want to see you in this.
Reese, though, she's just like... I feel like she was like the incredible career planner of like these smart stars.
Yeah.
Like, know what they're doing. She did... I wrote down the movies she did. So she did this and Election. The next year she was in American Psycho with Christian Bale. Then she did Legally Blonde.
Classic.
Sweet Home Alabama the next year.
Obsessed.
Legally Blonde 2. And then Walk the Line in 2005. And so like all four, those last four all made like well over $100 million. She's getting nominated for all these awards. She wins the Oscar for Walk the Line.
I mean,
so, like,
these all turned into sleepover movies too, by the way.
All
of them. Sleepover movie queen.
Walk
Reese
the Line?
Witherspoon.
You're watching just Johnny
I
Cash?
have that on DVD.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Joaquin running around?
Yeah. So from this movie, she got all those other movies, and she also got a husband.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about that.
I don't know a lot about
bit.
this. I just know because I think I paused at one point watching the movie, and I was like, weren't they married or something or dated? And you were like, oh,
I was like,
man.
oh my God. They literally got married right after this movie came out, and she was a couple months pregnant already.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they had a baby the year we're watching this happen. Like, this is a document of them right before she's pregnant. Like, that's crazy to exist. Imagine that existing in your life.
She was like 23 years old or something, like, at this time. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
I mean, and they stayed married a long time till she got that Oscar. And then it all goes to hell once you get that Oscar.
Well, when you get the
Imagine
Oscar.
showing your kids this movie and being like, this is where we fell in love.
And they have like a full-on sex scene in this. I mean, it was like a
I
one,
mean,
thought.
she loses her virginity.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And we get the classic,
To Counting Crows.
does it hurt? Are you okay?
I don't know if her kids
And you
are...
said Sebastian hasn't changed. He was checking on her.
I don't know if her kids are public people at all, but like I would be fascinated to hear about the one born in 99 of like, have you watched this movie? Are you like, this was like me being conceived? That's crazy. That's a crazy document to exist.
Tyler, you know that how they record sex scenes, it's not actual sex. you
But
know?
like, this is the chemistry. This is them vibing.
I know.
This is the lead up.
I don't think I would be able to watch it. I don't think I would. It's too awkward. Because it is like...
I mean, imagine on top of the stepsister, stepbrother stuff, you're like, there's another level of awkward that's even more awkward for me of my parents in this movie.
Imagine it's like you watch your dad being in those scenes with Sarah Michelle Gellar and have to fast forward all the other scenes.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're like,
Like,
these are
there's-
the comfort scenes,
Yeah.
is him squeezing his stepsister's boobs. Like,
I could not believe that scene.
This-
I was like, oh my God.
this movie is wacky. It's hot.
It's wacky. It's hot. It's camp. It's like all the things, I feel like.
Yeah. It was nominated for 5 MTV Movie Awards, including Best Kiss, which it won.
Well, who do you think was the best kiss? What do you know? Which one won?
Yeah, it's the Selma Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, that's an iconic
That's what
kiss.
you knew. Yeah.
That's an iconic kiss.
Again, it was like that went on for like 5 minutes.
It's parodied in Not Another Teen Movie with even more slobber.
Yeah.
And it's so great.
I love
Also,
them.
what are they doing? They're sitting in Central Park there,
I know, that's-
having like one of these perfect picnics.
That's what I was going to say. Like, they're just sitting there. Like, it's not too hot. It looks beautiful. They have their picnic basket
Oh,
and
my
glasses. I was like, this is nice. This is a life.
That's why I'm like, these people are teenagers. This is wild. This movie's great.
Me and producer Jesse are going to reenact the kiss.
Off camera.
I will just say the little bit of saliva does make it like even more of just like, what am I watching? Like, I've never seen anything like that in a movie.
I mean, that layered on the fact that like Selma Blair's character is supposed to be like 15.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
we got to talk about that. Like, what is she doing in this movie?
I looked it up and she was 26 at the time.
What?
26 years old.
No.
Went to movieages.com and it's great. Everyone's in their 20s, but she is the oldest. Well, Ronald, I think, is 28, but she's 26. And I'm like,
I never would have guessed that.
Which
I was
makes
like,
the performance
she must be
even
like
wackier.
18 or something. Like, she's the youngest on the cast or something like that. I mean, that is a wacky performance she is giving. Like, just like not knowing anything. I mean, I guess she is supposed to be playing like someone who's just going into high school, but then is dating somebody like out of high school and in college already.
She's almost playing a 15-year-old like a toddler.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
I'm like, I get that you were trying to play it young, but it's a little bit.
I feel like going into this movie, I thought that people like loved her performance in this, and like maybe they do, but like I was just like, it really was like, is this person okay? Like, is she playing this like there's something like mentally like impaired with this person? Like, it was
Yeah.
bizarre the way she played
It's
it.
like childlike, but trying to be sexy, and it's like a little uncomfortable. I think she's the least one out of all the performances, like, in my opinion. Like, I just am kind of like, it doesn't really fit all with the tone, and maybe it's also just the character. I think there was too much of her character in the movie. I could have done a little bit less with her and a little more Reese.
I think that like this was like a remnant of where people like, I think it's like post Forrest Gump, everyone thought like playing these kinds of characters like is funny, and I just feel like it comes off so weird now.
Like Cecile's on the spectrum nowadays.
I think the problem is that it's like just very distracting.
Yeah.
Like, because she's obviously not 15 visually, and she's overplaying like the young thing.
Yeah.
It keeps like every time she's on screen, you're like, what is happening with this character? It like pulls you out a little bit too much.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's like, you want me to like kiss you down there? And it's like, if you're having to like, I don't know, the way he's talking to her, it's like, what am I watching?
But then her response with the like, no, I don't want you to kiss me down there. Like, it's like so bizarre. It's like a Muppet or
It's
something.
such a strange performance. I thought she was scamming them at first. I was like, oh, it's going to be revealed. She's like manipulating them.
Okay, that would have been good. I would have enjoyed that more.
And then she does seem more with it at the end.
Yeah.
When she's like passing out like the cruel intentions,
Yeah.
but which that was great. I kept being like, this is the kind of movie where they say cruel intentions. And they almost did at one point of being like, Reese was saying to him, like, you have like the worst of intentions or something. I'm like, he's got cruel intentions.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They held it for the very end. And then
It's
I was
so
like,
good.
yeah, there it is. There it is actually said in the movie. I love that.
Going back to Cecile for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted less of her, but I wanted more of her mom.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
Christine Baranski.
She
She's great.
kills it in this movie. It's so good. I love every second of her on that screen in her like matching sets. And that hair that was not moving at all.
She's definitely the most accurate Upper East Sider
I
in this
know.
movie. She's great.
I was reading like reviews where people were like, what a terrible character. Like, and obviously like she's not a good person, but I was like, this feels accurate, like this character.
She's
for
like
sure.
pitch perfect satire of like a rich Upper East Side mom.
And
that
that's
like
what
you
we
could
want.
see her walking right into Gossip Girl, I bet.
Exactly,
Like and playing
yeah.
that.
And, like,
when
that's
she
what
yells,
we want.
"Don't give me any of that racist crap. My husband and I gave money to Colin Powell." I thought that was just such a great line. Like she's so funny. Like I don't know.
The lines like that in this movie are so good. Like that is why this movie is so great, because it has so many just quotable, iconic lines that are legit hilarious.
It's
and
what saves
still
the
are
whole
funny
movie.
today.
I just kept laughing, and I was like, I'm willing to forgive anything if I'm laughing throughout the movie. So it's like, yeah. You know,
What's your favorite quote of the movie?
Well, mine is, "I'm the Marcia fucking Brady of the Upper East Side." So good.
Absolutely.
So good.
Fantastic. I think mine was when Sebastian said emo is for geeks and pedophiles.
That's a good one.
I thought that was great. Oh, wait. And there was one more I wrote down. She said, Catherine said to Sebastian, "Be her Captain Picard. Boldly go where no man has gone before."
Oh my god!
Which really made me laugh.
You
Then
would love that
Well,
one.
that's what I was imagining. Is like, is Catherine a big Star Trek: The Next Generation fan when she's not scheming? She's in her room watching Star Trek. Because that's great.
I could see that for her. I could. I'm sorry. She doesn't seem to have many friends. I could just see her binging a lot of TV. I was like, this girl needed some minions around her. I would have enjoyed that. Maybe budget was cut, but like I was like, she needs some people actually doing some of this dirty work for
But
her.
are you just saying that because of Gossip Girl?
Maybe, yeah.
I actually agree with that. I thought one thing that like at the end of the movie, like I kind of forgot that people thought she was a popular good girl,
Right.
Because throughout the whole movie, we've seen her be such a like over the top villain.
Yeah.
And like I think you're right that at one point, maybe in the middle of the movie, I could have used a scene of her like with some popular friends at school being like nice, being like different. But it does feel like maybe this was just such a low budget movie. I think they shot all her scenes in the same place. So
No,
like,
she really
they
she doesn't leave that house.
They were like, we can't afford some big scene at the like
We don't
just her
even-
hanging out with friends.
We don't even see her shopping. We see her like coming home from
Yeah,
shopping.
I think that's what's so great and makes it feel so weird is it feels like Sebastian and Catherine literally live in like hell. Like they live in another dimension. Like, because they're always in this room that looks from a different time.
Yeah.
And they're always scheming. And you never really see them outside of that environment together. Like, it's like these demons keep meeting up to scheme.
It's almost like, are they dead?
I think that's a good theory for Cruel Intentions, is they're both dead.
They're both dead. They're not outside of that townhome much. I mean, at least she's not. Like, maybe, you know, Catherine is a figment of Sebastian's imagination or something.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know. Like, we
fun.
rarely see her outside that home. But yeah, I think we just needed a scene with her, like, out to lunch with the girls, like, and really show, like, how popular she is and how, you know, queen bee, but also somebody with, like, morals and, like, a good girl.
Yeah.
Not somebody with cocaine in their in the rosary.
Wow. I mean,
Iconic.
One of the great like props I've ever seen in a film is that little cross that she wears that then just unscrews with a tiny spoon of cocaine.
And doesn't that happen in the first like 10, 15 minutes of the movie?
That's what I mean
Yeah.
though, the movie telling you what it is. Like it's like this is hilarious and twisted, and that's what we're going for.
I feel like that must have been so shocking at the time to actually see that. I mean, I'm still shocked kind of when I watch it and I see it.
You don't see people do bumps of cocaine like that as much as she does in this movie.
The way she just like pats her nose at the end, like it is so good. I love it.
I also think it helps make the movie make even more sense, though, because I'm like, these people who are scheming, coming up with all these crazy plots, are out of their minds on cocaine right now. They are just like they're the biggest criticism of their performances. You should watch this on double speed. And if they were talking like at double the speed the whole time, it would just be like, this makes perfect sense. These people are just out of their minds on cocaine.
They're
right
out
now.
of their minds on cocaine, seemingly have no friends, and are just hanging out with their step-sibling.
It's why Catherine suddenly just has to give him a lap dance mid-conversation as they continue the conversation.
That scene where she sits on him and like slides down, it's still just like,
What a
oh
movie.
my God.
What a film.
It is like such a long scene.
Wow.
Or maybe I was just thinking that when I was watching with you.
Wow.
I was like, this is not to watch with your fiance lover. This would probably have been wild to see like in a movie
Oh
theater.
my
people.
God. Everyone was on cocaine in the theater too,
And
probably.
you're like, I just want to see a movie that Buffy is in.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching Buffy every week. I'm sure it's rated R, but I'm sure it's not that bad. How bad can it be? Coke in the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk enough about Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't know a lot
Yeah.
about her. I just know she was like Buffy, and like this performance was amazing. Like, I actually liked her performance better than Reese's performance, and I get that like Reese is good in this, but Reese is a little bit playing it too safe in this, and I just, let me tell you, like, Sarah Michelle Gellar's performance is not safe. Like, she had to know she was going to be, especially at that time, going to get made fun of so much, acting like she didn't know what she was doing in this performance.
Okay, first off, though, how dare you say Reese was safe with those funny faces she was doing?
She did the funny faces.
Those cutesy funny faces. Like, I was like, is that all you have? Like, in you?
Well, give me your best funny face.
I mean, I would have gone at least a little more like double chin or something.
You are right. You could see a little bit of self-conscious of her of like, I don't really want people to see me too much like this. Like,
I'm going to need you to describe the face that Jill made because this is a podcast.
JIllian looks like she ate something sour and has her tongue out. Reese did little finger horns.
Yeah.
But
Reese
she was
did
like,
cutesy.
but I still look beautiful, right? I just have little horns.
Yeah.
Like,
but I feel like Sarah
how did that make him laugh? I can't imagine a face making me laugh.
He wanted to sleep with her.
He's never outside of that apartment.
He was also probably on a lot of cocaine.
Oh my God. Well, he didn't do cocaine. Only Sarah Michelle Gellar did.
You think he wasn't doing cocaine?
Only around
She's not a big
her.
sharer. She's a very selfish druggie.
She's not giving him the details to her dealer. No. I mean, I'm sure Sarah Michelle Gellar just had a ball doing this, of playing this like such an out there character who is obsessed with her step-sibling. And the scheming she does in this is like wild. It's crazy.
She's great. She carries the whole movie, and it's so convoluted. And I will say, at times, I definitely zoned out. Like, I lost what she's describing is going on. Because, like, there are two schemes happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
But then also she's, like, having incredible quotes in between. It's just so hard to follow. I was like, it's basically she did the whole movie like, what if a James Bond villain, when they're revealing their plan, what if I talk like that the entire time?
Yeah.
And it's like the whole movie is like the big Bond movie villain reveal.
Yeah. There's not one normal conversation.
No, and it's just every convo's that.
Yeah.
Was this like Sarah Michelle Gellar's peak? Like, I guess it is, right? She had done like...
I mean, the 90s is for Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, she owned the 90s, for sure.
She did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She had I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 2 and this. Yeah.
I mean, that's an
incredible run.
Yeah.
And then she did the Scooby-Doo movies, which
Yeah.
are fun.
Very different than this. Not as family
She had to
friendly.
repair her image after being this coked up Catherine.
Probably. I'm sure like there were moms. Like, was that parent council a thing yet? That like went after Gossip Girl and stuff? That like
The what?
parent council of like that they would like get mad at TV shows.
I think
and
that
movies.
was. I think it was after Janet Jackson.
Oh, wow.
So that was more like mid 2000s.
I mean, if this movie came out when that parent council was a thing, wow, they would have really had something to say.
Yeah.
It's literally called the Parents Television Council.
Oh my God.
Wow, look at you.
Well,
Were they your mortal enemy?
Yeah, they were always hating on everything I wanted to watch. It was terrible. I was like, get out of here. We don't need you. I'm watching this at a sleepover. Let me be.
This is one of the pre-Janet Jackson classics.
Yeah, if this movie tried to get made after Janet Jackson, it would not have been made. It wouldn't have.
No, it was crazy.
It was so stupid.
It's also crazy. I don't know. And I don't want to go down that route. But it is crazy we even call it the Janet Jackson thing when Justin Timberlake's the one who ripped her top off. But
I know.
Anyways,
we digress. But what's so crazy though too is like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Reese Witherspoon have one scene together at the very end of this movie. That shows how much these two plots were like not coming together until like the very end of this movie.
That's right.
I mean, the scene they're in is amazing.
Well, wait, yeah. Let's go through the whole movie, all the scenes. every line, every scene.
Are you crazy?
I just realized I'm not wearing shoes. I'm sorry. Is this going to be seen?
Oh no, your socks are so dirty.
I meant to put shoes on and I forgot.
I made sure your feet were out of the shot.
Thank you.
They're not in there.
You're a hero.
And they aren't on the podcast. So.
I would be.
But now everyone knows because you
the
said
socks
it.
Are
We're not cutting this out. We're leaving it in.
Pilling a little.
My feet are down now.
It's okay.
All right. Was there anything else you want to talk about overall, or should we get into? I just mean more the plot of the movie. I want to talk about go through it real quick.
Well, let's go through it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get another beer and then we'll go through it.
Okay. This is where we'll put in an ad break if we had ads. We got more beverages. So now's really the good time to dive into the plot now that we're feeling a little loose.
Well, I am excited to talk to you about this because we watched this movie in basic silence. We had very few pauses or discussions or anything.
Tyler just kept saying, "Oh my God. What?" That's all that I kept hearing from him. It was a lot of what?
My pearls were clutched.
They were clutched. I think you were shocked.
Scandalous.
At this movie.
So it is fun to go through it and talk to you about it. So
yeah, I know. We really kept quiet. We saved it for the audience.
I know. I didn't know your review or anything. All right.
Yeah.
So it opens with just these 90s movies open with these incredible rock songs of these 90s 2000s rock. I can't even remember the band for this one. But it's showing those tombstones in the graveyard. And then it shows him in the Jaguar and he's got the sunglasses on. It's
hot.
Always ask for your opening shot of you in the movie to be with sunglasses on. Because then the audience well, he's a cool guy.
He looks so cool. He was giving me Gatsby vibes or
yes,
something.
They're definitely.
Isn't that in Gatsby where they're driving into the city or something like that?
You're probably right.
I don't know. But it was, I mean, you just know this is going to be good.
But then
that opening scene.
But then the twist of he's driving to therapy and he's with his therapist. And then you're like, oh, is this guy actually kind of a dork?
Yeah.
Because he's so insecure with her and but then you realize there's the twist of he's playing her and we get a brief Tara Reid appearance.
And this was before American Pie.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I know. I love the flip where we see him
devious smile.
Yes, he's so good at flipping it.
Yeah.
Ryan Phillippe did a really good job of playing that, and I really like that.
And he's pretty good with clip art with that revenge porn.
that was jarring.
That really wasn't great.
I loved it back then.
It's a tough way to come back from that.
Back then revenge porn was making a full website, a lot of work.
A lot of work. He bought a domain.
Yeah.
He had some software to make this. It's crazy. That whole scene is insane. And it sets you up though to be he's a monster, but he's funny.
Yeah. I think that's why the character works and why we like the character. It's because they keep it funny a lot with him.
Yes.
More so.
And they're showing you with that scene of he makes the therapist look so crazy as she's doing the the graduate banging on the window thing. And like, he looks so calm and cool. And so everyone's looking at her like she's the crazy one, when we know he's the psychopath who's like manipulating everyone, but everyone just like likes him because he's so charming. So it's kind of like, this is the ride you're going on. Now, which is fun. And then there's what we talked about, the incredibly long scene of him and Catherine.
Well, they set up the entire movie in this scene.
They really set it all up. It's like, here are all the pieces, because we see Cecile, we see her there with her mom. Bizarre scene with her. And
close your legs, Cecile.
Yeah.
So good.
Didn't she say she'd been to Australia or something? And he said, like, how are things down under?
Yes, I love it.
Then he says, blossoming, I hope, or something.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
It's so good.
And then her mom drags her out of there. And then Catherine and Sebastian, lay out the entire movie.
Well, they talk about how they're going to get revenge on Cor and then Cecile. And then they talk about, he just comes out with a magazine article of Annette and it's like, here's my new prospect. It's just like, so everything happens at once.
And also that is the scene where like they're like touching each other and grinding on each other in that scene. And you're like, what is this relationship? That's one of the more interesting things of the movie, is because I just don't know, like, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Like, what is their relationship? It's like almost shocking when the bet ends up being that it's so he can have sex with her. And I'm like, these two aren't having sex? Like, they're just like grabbing each other at all times.
That's a solid question. I love that they lay out like quickly, we're step-siblings.
We're
step-siblings.
Which is my favorite part of Not Another Teen Movie, because they're like, no, we're actual siblings.
Yeah. I love that we have no information about the parents, though. Like,
we never see the parents, right?
Not really.
I was wondering
at the funeral, but like you don't even really know.
At the funeral, someone grabs her thing, and I was like, "Is that her dad?" But then it's like, no, it's not her dad. That's just some old man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you never see the parents at all.
The budget was not great.
But that's what makes it so eerie, because it feels like they're alone in this giant mansion together scheming. So, what did you think of then Sebastian and Annette whenever like he meets Reese and he finds out someone's been talking bad about him, but like they're having all these scenes. There's in the pool scene. There's all that.
I mean, I love all those scenes. Like, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
It's like the rom-com part of the movie that I love. And it's like the bad boy and the good girl getting together. I mean, I thought they had great chemistry. I'm here for it. I'm shipping those two.
You're shipping them.
I'm shipping it.
Do you think he had more chemistry with Annette or his sister?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Like, literally.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Producer Jesse has lost it after that comment.
Oh, my God. Catherine has that one scene where she's like, at ease, boy. Like, it's
I
like,
know.
oh my God.
She's like, I think she literally says down, boy.
Yeah.
It's
like,
where she's like grinding on
oh
him.
my
Like, oh my God.
they're step siblings.
I know, but I'm still kind of here for it. Again, that was like a separate movie to me. It's like there are two movies in this. And it's like Sebastian in that Upper East Side apartment with Catherine, and Sebastian in the Hamptons or wherever he's at in this mansion with Annette.
I know what you mean. It does feel almost like, I get what you mean about Catherine's like a figment of his imagination, because we never see her interacting with Annette. And and he seems like such a different person out there outside of that. What about the butt scene? You think that was a butt double, or do you think that was Ryan's butt?
I think that was Ryan's butt. I don't think this movie had budget for a butt double, honestly. They're like,
we gotta hire pretty people because we can't afford doubles.
They were like, we're putting any money at all to Sarah Michelle Gellar, the only person who's done anything in this movie.
And we've agreed that she doesn't have to leave this room.
Yeah.
I just Googled, did Ryan Felipe have a butt double in Cruel Intentions? And at least the AI automatic response says no. Ryan Felipe did not have a butt double in the 1999 film Cruel Intentions.
That's all natural, Jesse.
Hey.
We know a real butt
It
when
wasn't
we
a
see
prosthetic.
I love when we start to see Sebastian soften with Reese. That's where I'm like, ooh, we're getting going. I love that.
I do kind of, again, Reese's performance is whatever in this, but like, I do think you see pieces of like why Reese like becomes such a great actress, because like you see scenes in this where like they leave the camera running on her and she like looks off screen and like shakes her head, and these are like trademarks of Reese you see throughout her career. So I do think she's like believable of someone who's like unsure and like figuring this guy out and clearly interested and like struggling with her own inner stuff. And so I guess the movie did need that of someone to be a real person.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not as fun.
It's not
since
as
no one
fun.
else is a real person.
Right. It's definitely not as fun. But I think that their scenes together are fun. Because I like when she's telling him off. And it's like, I see right through you. I know what you're doing. And I'm not going to fall for this. And I feel like we hadn't really seen that before. I feel like I based my personality off of that a little bit.
So I think you clearly love the like, will they, won't they, with like Annette and Sebastian. Do you think like the real life relationship is also, are you thinking about that when you're watching that, or are you just caught up in their scene?
No, because I wasn't like obsessed with them, you know?
Yeah.
They weren't like A-list together.
And I will say, I guess the movie needs that sort of like emotional payoff of that kind of storyline. But the much more fun storyline for me is the bizarre revenge Catherine storyline, which I don't even understand what she's doing with Cecile.
So crazy.
Like, I've tried to like rethink it of like, so what am I looking at here? What is she doing? And it's like, basically, she is going to turn Cecile, she says, into a slut because she had a relationship with Court, Catherine's ex-boyfriend. Yeah. But do we see Court in this movie?
No, we do not.
Like, and also,
I think we see
Cecile is not into him. She's into Ronald. So, like, what are we even talking about?
I think we see Court for a second when Catherine is giving him head in the car.
Oh, that's right.
But
the
Court
flashback
doesn't even have a line.
The flashback to that, yeah.
Court does not even have a line. But she doesn't seem to even care that much about Court. Like, why is this whole revenge plot based around that?
It's so strange. And then, like, it is almost like, I don't feel like she needs to do anything. Like, Cecile's, like, living her life, and her mom's, like, gonna be crazed about her no matter what. Like, I don't know if you need to. Yeah. So, like, basically, she comes in, she sees the music lesson with this incredible central scene between Ronald and Cecile, which, like, if anyone could get music lessons like that, let me tell you, everyone's just signing up for just, like what was that? That was, like, the ghost, like, pottery scene.
Orchestra has never looked so hot. Like, orchestra is like so nerdy. Like, they made it hot.
It's once again another one of those scenes in Cruel Intentions where I'm like, these people aren't having sex. Like, these people are all over each other. So basically, she comes in and sees that Cecile clearly likes Ronald, and she gets Ronald fired. And I'm like, I don't understand how this. Do you get that part?
I think she just hates Cecile and just wants to take Cecile down. And this also goes back to, like, she is bored and just wants something to do. So has decided she's going to take down Cecile, because Cecile also doesn't care about anything. She's aloof. She's just living day to day, not really caring or thinking about much. And that is not how Catherine is. So there's just such a thing where she's like, I just want to take down this happy girl. Why is she happy? Why is she so content?
Okay. So she's just trying to make her miserable because she's jealous that Court liked her.
It's called being a girl. Yes. Welcome to girl world.
It just feels like poor Ronald gets punished more than anyone in this movie. And he's such a bystander. Like, I know. I don't know. We can get to what happens to him later even. Like, but... So he gets fired, and they talk him into like pursuing her, and I don't know, that it's all so convoluted, but I like it makes me enjoy it more because I'm like, oh, I guess I just don't have to follow this. I can just enjoy the juicy quotes.
You truly do not need to follow it, because I was like, wait, why is Ronald still here? Like, Ronald's still in this movie, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah. And so then we get back. That's right. I forgot. And then she's hooking up with Ronald. It's
Yeah.
like, what is this? But like the other side plot is Sebastian is trying to figure out who's bad-mouthing him and stopping him from moving forward with Annette. So he does the blackmail of the football player who's gay. And Joshua Jackson, who you did not tell me is in this movie, is in here looking like Joe Burrow with his bleach blonde hair.
I forgot he was in this movie.
That was-
Wow, it is a performance. It is jarring.
What a brave performance.
Oh my God. I'm like scared to even talk about the performance.
He wouldn't do this now, but
I don't know.
I actually
I
think
don't know.
his-
I thought it was like kind of campy gay, and like I feel like there has been roles like that since then. I mean, I don't think he should have played this character. He was basically giving what Joshua Jackson does, which is not this character at all. Like, it's not great. I feel like he never talks about being in this movie. Like, he wants to forget that he was in this. He wants people to forget he's in it, too.
Back to Saltburn, though. I think his character reminded me of Barry Keoghan's character in Saltburn. I do think that's what it was based on. Like, it seems very similar of like, oh, like, I'm gay, but I'm in with these rich people and I'll do whatever, like, to get ahead with them.
I definitely think he would have drank Sebastian's bathwater.
What a scene. That would have been a scene.
That would have been good.
Do you think that's just Emerald's fanfic of Cruel Intentions?
I was kind of
As
rooting.
he's drinking Sebastian's bathwater?
I was rooting for
'Cause you're right.
Sebastian and that guy.
You're right. Joshua Jackson is
Jackson's
clearly
character.
in love with like him, or he wouldn't be
Yes.
doing this for him.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. It kind of is fanfic. That's good. I like that. There were a lot of gay jokes in this movie.
Not
that were
great.
bizarre.
So bad. That is the number one thing I think that does not hold up.
It's just that, like, you can make jokes as real people of being real, but, like, there is something where they do it so many times in this movie and it's like unanswered, like no one ever like criticizes it. It's just bizarre. Like, but it is just like a remnants of that like late 90s, 2000s. It was a real like gay panic.
Right. Yeah.
It was a gay panic. Everyone thought they were going to catch it. It's true. It's bizarre when you watch those movies.
It's like
'Cause I'm
truly
like-
shocking.
It's like everyone
shocking.
chill out.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's so dumb.
But this movie is all about shock factor. So I almost think they were playing into it with some of that. I did think some of it was like, we're just constantly trying to shock you.
Yeah, I think though that you could say that more about the racism in it. That was clearly like intentional and what they view as what this Upper East Side woman would do. So I feel like that was more intentional.
Well, that's why I think they're the same, because I think they thought like, oh, we showed a gay character and we showed a black character, so we're allowed to push these buttons, which is not correct, but it's just, I think, probably the thinking in 99.
I feel like the gay jokes are not as self-aware as like the other jokes.
You're
like
probably right.
it doesn't feel as like self-aware.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like it fits in too much with the other jokes that were being made in movies in 1999 that it's like it needed to be almost more in your face.
Yeah.
to,
Which
like-
is insane.
I
It's
know,
like,
yeah.
we're committing incest, but at least we're not gay.
we needed like Joshua Jackson's character to like win at something then or something and not just be the side character that's in the first
'Cause you
20
don't-
minutes of this movie.
You don't see him again after he's
No.
filing his nails in bed with the jock.
Yeah.
What happens after that? Where are we?
You know, I could not retell this plot if I did not have notes.
It's so
in front of me.
convoluted. I do think at some point in the middle of the movie, I start to zone out a little bit. Again, I love this movie, but I do
Yeah.
think probably could have just been a little shorter because it's like we don't really care about the mechanisms of these plots, and there's so many going on.
Well, let's get to kind of like the climax of the movie, I feel like.
I was going to say, because I think after this, I basically remember things happen. There's a few more meetings in their house where she's grinding on him and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I do think I more think of the climax of like, he gives his big speech
Yes.
of that he's in love with it. What, you love a big speech.
I love a big speech. It's the best part of any of these movies.
Where does this rate on your big speeches?
It's not bad. I wouldn't put it too high. Like, because I just think it's like not fully in tune with the character. I think I did want a few more scenes of showing he's changed. And I think that there was just so much to this movie that you can't focus just on that. But I felt like I wanted a few more scenes of like him and Reese more like we're seeing a little bit that he's changed. Because basically... So
what was it he says? It's something like, you turned your back on love.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. Which
great.
is like, dude, you just fell in love like 2 seconds ago after she made that funny face. Like, let's tone it down.
It's why I kind of think he hadn't changed that much, because I feel like he's trying to manipulate her, where he's like, oh, yeah, no, you're the hypocrite because you don't want love.
Yeah. Well, so
It's good, though. I love it.
This
It's
is the
great.
big scene in the bedroom where Sebastian kisses Annette. And then she resists because she also has feelings and can't restrain herself because she's a virgin. And then Sebastian, that's where he gives a speech where he accuses her of like running away from love and something real. And isn't that what she's always talking about? And then the scene keeps on going. Then she gives in to him. And she starts to undress.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he doesn't run out then.
And that's where he runs away.
He runs away because it's not just sex, it's love.
He was like, oh my God, I'm feeling something and not just below the belt.
Whoa.
And then we have the pivotal scene where, so Annette leaves the following day and Sebastian finds out where she is. She was getting on a train, poor
Which
thing.
is so funny. He calls
Poor
that
thing.
jock again. Do we ever see that jock with Reese? Like, but
Yeah,
somehow
they go on that walk in the
Oh,
beach.
that's right. Where he talks to her about like, oh, he's a good guy. But like, it's so funny to me when he calls her and he's like, she just went to the train station 20 minutes ago. You can probably catch her. Like, I love that stuff.
And
I am
then
like, this is crazy.
The moment where he is standing there at the top of the escalator.
The top of the escalator.
Oh my God, what a scene. I love it so much. It's so good. Like the look he's giving, and then she sees him, and it's like, oh my God, it's so good. We're like, he made it. It's just like, I think it's a really well done shot too of when we see him. Ugh, I love it.
And then somehow next scene, they're like back
Wait,
at
I
his...
need you to react to that scene though.
About what?
The
About
escalator
the
scene where
escalator?
he's there.
It's a good scene. Yeah. Goosebumps. Movie moment.
Oh my God. It's
She
so
comes up
good.
that's classic Reese though. I feel like she does the double look of when she
Yeah.
like sees him and locks in.
it's like,
and then you're like, they're going to have sex.
oh my God, it's so good. I love it. And they do have sex.
Well, somehow he gets her to his apartment. Do you think they went back outside of Penn Station and took a cab? Like,
I don't know.
But anyway,
that's a Claire question.
and then they just have an awkward cab ride. That's the good thing to leave out of the movie.
I
So
think
then they're
they
back
were making out in the cab. Definitely making out in the cab. That cab driver was like, get out of here, you two lovebirds.
and then isn't that the great one where like they have sex, hot scene.
It's a good sex scene.
It is a good one.
I'll say
Yeah.
that.
And then she's leaving, and isn't that when it pans up to see Catherine like looking out on the balcony? Is that
He's
that?
coming home. I think they were at her room.
Oh, okay.
He's coming home with flowers and she sees him. And then we find out she's having sex with Ronald to seemingly to make him jealous as part of it. And then that's when everything starts to hit the fan. And it's like, can we just be happy for like 2 seconds?
It's a cruel movie. There are cruel intentions.
Yeah. Catherine starts to seduce Sebastian and she's like, you can't change. And then she says that, like, if Annette finds out about the bet, this will ruin their reputations. And then this leads Sebastian to break up with Annette, even though they both don't want to. And it's that scene where she's like, I know you don't want this. You don't mean this. And she's crying. It's very good. And he's crying too.
I mean, that's a great scene.
We also see her apartment more in that scene. Well, that is where she's like, oh, this is my bedroom. So I don't know where they had sex.
I don't know where they are. I mean, I do get a little
It
confused.
doesn't matter, but
Because it does feel like
it's
it's a
one of those-
low-budget movie, and they're just moving from set
A
to set.
bedroom in Penn Station.
But I'm like, why
Bedroom in Penn Station.
does-
They need that, yeah. If you're having a quick movie moment.
a bedroom in Penn Station?
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
good. That's good. Maybe you did get a hotel. That seems very Sebastian.
Wow, that's romantic.
That's hot. Like, whoa. To get a hotel room for sex in high school, hot.
Forget they're in high school.
I mean, now that would still be high. You
They're in
never
high
get me a hotel room.
school. Wow. You'd be nervous going to Penn Station by yourself, figuring all that out now. They're in high school.
I know. I would be.
Before we keep going through the plot, one thing I do want to remark on is the constant music in the movie is like great. Like, I think that's also why I love it. Is because
so
it's
good.
like people are talking and then in the background it's like bum, ba, da, 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 da. Like it's so dramatic. It's great. I love that. It's just the constant music throughout because like this is shot kind of in an odd way where it almost looks a little like a TV show since they're just in the rooms and like the music I think is just so fun.
Well, they do a good job too of like every time Catherine is on screen scheming, she has her own little like instrumental thing going on. And then of course, like in all the big scenes, we get like a fun 90s band song that's just so great.
Yeah.
I mean, was there a soundtrack for this?
I'm not like recognizing a lot of the bands, but the two songs that like I remember from the movie are the Counting Crows, Colorblind, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
the
So
Virginity song, and
The
Bitter.
virginity song. Yeah, that song starts playing, I feel like, when she gets to the top of the escalator.
Yeah,
and
and
then
it
you see
is the song that
her
plays
lose her
under her
virginity.
losing her virginity,
Yeah.
which I think is hilarious. And then the other really big one is Bittersweet Symphony.
Well, that
Yeah,
is
of course.
such a good moment. It's so good.
that was
Also,
great.
Fat
That
Boy
song's
Slim
amazing.
is on this.
Fat Boy Slim? What?
I don't know.
I think
I'm just looking at-
Placebo's the opening song
Oh,
at
yes.
the
Yeah,
graveyard,
Placebo.
like stuff.
Blur. Yeah.
It's just great. Anyway, where are we at in the plot? So they have sex.
I never know where we're at in the plot.
It's hard to know in this movie. This movie's wacky. It
I
feels like
know.
they're all at summer camp at one point because it feels like they're all just like, I don't even know where they are. Where are they vacationing?
I think it's Hamptons.
They're like, because it feels like they're all very close to each other, but they're outdoors all the time.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
think it's the Hamptons.
it feels like they all went to summer camp.
You're at Sebastian breaking up with Annette. That's
Okay.
the last thing we talked about.
So then this is when Sebastian goes to Catherine for his reward for winning the bet. And then she's like, you will never change.
His reward being
Sex with her. I didn't want to say it.
I also forgot that part of the.
She like dismisses him. She is like, I don't want to have sex with a loser, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was like really dark. And then we're like,
Cutting.
oh, Catherine's the big villain.
Yeah. That's when she's like, I've been manipulating you the whole time.
Yes.
That's
yes.
why there are multiple plot lines going on at once.
Because I'm the manipulator here. You thought it was you. I'm the smart one. I'm the Marcia fucking Brady of the Upper East Side.
Also, when that happens, remember he's like sitting alone in her room. I love those kinds of scenes. Because I'm
Oh,
always
yeah.
like, has this guy been just gaming this out all day, just sitting here in this chair?
While she was out shopping.
It's great.
The only time we see her like leaving her place.
It is perfect, though, because there's so many like twists in this movie, and you need
Yeah.
one more at the end.
Yeah. So then this is when, though, Sebastian tries to get Annette back, and he gives her the journal, which is very important to the ending.
Yeah, he gives Annette the
Yeah,
journal.
that has all the information,
Oh, which
all
we
of
s-
Catherine's schemes, all about the bet, all of what's really going on.
Which we saw that journal at the very beginning in his car. Like they do a
Yeah.
close up on that.
I was
So
like,
it's
I kind of
fun.
want a journal like
And
that.
it's like what they're trying to tell us is that Sebastian's a secret scrapbooker and is quite a which we knew he was a graphic artist from the revenge porn. But like that scrapbook, that journal, I mean, that's all out. Like that thing's getting published. That's nice.
the reveal
That's good work.
of the journal
He's been
having like
working on the-
art in it was truly shocking to
When
me.
Sebastian's not having sex, he's cutting out photos, gluing all that in there. It's nice.
I thought, wow, I should really put some, magazine stuff in my journal.
I do just also right before that, Catherine just giving the big speech reveal is so good because she's like drinking champagne throughout it too.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just kept thinking like, again, where are the parents? And like, it's just so funny because like most teen movies, it's like you're getting like your parents' liquor and it's like these people just have like
Are buying it on
fine
their own.
champagne and are just like
Yeah.
they all behave so much older, but it's great. I love
Yeah.
it. So like he gives her the journal and then
He like waits
What
outside her
happens?
apartment.
Oh, that's right. He waits outside and you see him
then-
leave
yeah.
and she sees him.
And then Catherine calls Ronald. And again, I'm like, Ronald is still in this movie?
Ronald's back.
Like, truly
Anytime you don't
shocking.
think, every time you think Ronald's gone, there's another Ronald jump scare.
Yeah,
He's
truly.
back, baby.
And then Catherine claims that Sebastian hit her.
Yes.
And she also reveals that he slept with Cecile. So she was like, I'm going to give one truth and one lie
Yeah.
and see what happens. And then that's when Ronald sees Sebastian while he's walking
Poor
home
Ronald's
in the park.
getting so manipulated in this
I
movie.
know, I
I
know.
will say also, why does Ronald care? Ronald slept with Catherine.
I know. Well, the hitting thing. The hitting thing is not great.
No, that's awful.
He was like, I need to deal with this guy. So they're getting into it in the middle of the street, Sebastian and Ronald.
This is back when they had the cabs just driving through that circle in Central Park.
Which is crazy. And
Dangerous.
then Annette
I think this
tries-
movie ended that, actually.
You think?
Yeah.
I was like, was that ever a thing? That was crazy.
It's crazy.
So Annette tries to intervene and is thrown into traffic. And Sebastian pushes her to safety, but he is struck by a taxi.
That was a shocking ending to me.
Were you
I
shocked
could not
by
believe
that?
it. I was like, all right, he got hit by a car, and then they're like, he's dead. Like,
I know. They go right to the funeral. It cuts to the funeral right away.
also, they show that
No,
cab.
after Annette, they tell each other they love each other.
Yes.
Annette and Sebastian.
Also, they show that cab stopping. That cab would not have stopped. That cab would have booked it out of there.
I also feel like the way he was struck, it wouldn't have necessarily killed you. Like, that seems so dramatic. Like, it was still going through the park. There's no way that car was
Sebastian
going that
must have had
fast.
underlying conditions. Yeah.
Was he on drugs?
He was definitely on drugs. Everyone's on drugs. I also think once
No,
again,
Catherine is the druggie, not him.
I think he's doing drugs too.
I don't know. Not after Annette. Not after Annette.
I also think poor Ronald once again is probably screwed because I don't think Ronald escaped this crime scene without going to jail.
I thought that too. I thought poor Ronald just got really dragged into this. And we never find out what happens to Ronald.
Well, because it's a very sad ending.
Ronald, who's going to Juilliard.
Yeah,
So worried about
it.
him.
It is on the local news that night that like black guy pushes Upper East Side man in front of car.
I know.
And is in jail forever. Like, and then it cuts to that photo of Sebastian where you're like, wow, he's dead.
If there was
This is
any question in your
crazy.
mind.
It is shocking. Like, you think it will cut to a hospital, something like that. Nope. We're at a funeral.
Yeah. And it's Catherine's big moment. She's ready to speak.
And that's where we get that good scene of Catherine and Annette in the bathroom.
That is so good because I was like, wow, I guess we have never seen them.
I know.
interact.
And you don't really realize that until that moment. And then it hits you like, oh, wow, these two have never been in a scene together.
It's very fun for the plot. It does make you also think, like, is it because this is a low budget movie? That, like, this is the one day they could
Stop
afford.
talking about how poor they were making this
loved
movie.
it. But it's the one day they could afford to have Reese and Sarah Michelle Gellar on set.
Well, Reese was new. She didn't get paid much for this.
But that bathroom scene is, again, they pretend they don't know each other. This woman was at the scene of her brother's death.
I know.
And she's like, oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Catherine's lies and schemes become exposed at the funeral after Annette, copies the journal and mass produces it.
Very Mean Girls.
Yes.
Style.
Even just the journal in general was very Mean Girls because it was like people had their own page. Like, I really thought that. I was like, this is the burn book.
I thought that was funny, though, because I kept being like, Catherine's not wrong. They are being a little rude. Like, you can't read this after? We can't get through the memorial?
No,
Like,
I thought that too. I kind of thought everyone
we're all
was...
storming out of the memorial. The book will still be there.
I kind of thought everyone was a little harsh on Catherine, honestly, because I'm like, her stepbrother just died. No matter what happened before that. Like,
I mean,
doesn't
I
really
think-
matter anymore. Like, she's still
I think it
clearly
plays
liked
into
him.
whatever the perception of her was that we maybe don't totally understand.
Right.
Of like that she was putting on this good girl persona. But like that's not quite as like shoved in our faces as it could have been.
Well, they say at the memorial that she's the student body president, which really made me laugh, too. She's the student. It's so good. What a good movie.
I think I just felt like Sebastian was like the one person she actually cared about. But I get it. We don't really need to go down that road. Like,
What do you
we
think-
just needed her exposed.
What do you think the book exposed, though? Like, what specifically?
Her drug addiction, which it's like, instead of being like, maybe we need to rally around her and help her if she's carrying coke on her every second of the day, they're like, ew, how dare you be doing coke?
I do like
It's
that.
like, if a high school is carrying coke on them like that, like, we need to get them some help.
The old man like comes up and grabs her cross and unscrews it and just shakes his head.
And he's like, you will not be student body president anymore.
and I love that that's what he's disappointed in, not her scheming to get her brother killed.
Yeah.
It's it's having a little bit of cocaine around her neck.
Well, I also thought it was interesting in the journal under like Catherine's picture that he drew of her, he wrote "my love." And I'm like, no one thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, he was into her. At first, this was quite mutual.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like people are like, oh, poor Sebastian was in love with her and she's an evil wench.
It was, God.
But Bittersweet Symphony's playing, so
The
all
book's
is
called
good.
The book's called Cruel Intentions, as we said.
It's so good. That ending scene of her getting exposed is so good. So I know it's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I really wanted some more character development for Catherine, or just more to be revealed or something. But like, the end scene is so good, I don't really care. I mean, it all
the
being
combo-
revealed, everyone's staring at her, the song. It's just like a classic movie moment. It's so good.
The combo of her and Reese in the bathroom and then the memorial is just, it's great.
It's so good.
It's exactly how you want like a climax of a movie, like the ending. It's just very satisfying.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I think she does say, oh, did you know Sebastian? Like they both know each other. So it's so good though.
The looks in the
I'm
bathroom.
like, the title to Sebastian's car has been transferred to her. They don't know each other in the bathroom.
Annette, in the final scene, driving his car with the journal next to her, wearing his sunglasses. I was like, she got all this?
How did she steal this car?
Maybe it was in the journal. He was like, if Catherine kills me,
It's the last page of the journal.
give my car to Annette.
Wow. This whole movie is about a transfer of a drag wire.
Everyone wanted that car. That
Yeah.
really was the
a
one
nice
thing
car.
everyone wanted.
And the sunglasses. It's cool.
Hot.
Hot. Good movie.
It was a good final scene, too, with her in the car.
Good teen movie.
Great teen movie. Classic teen movie. Like, this is what I want in my teen movies. Something campy, something fun, something quotable. Like, convolute the plot. I don't really care. Like, we're having fun while we're watching it, and that's what matters. Like, if you're going to do a movie about Upper East Siders, this is what I want. And, you know, thank you to Gossip Girl for really carrying on that torch. They did a good job of it.
There were so many teen movies back then. I just Googled like 1999 teen movies, and it's Cruel Intentions, 10 Things I Hate About You, Varsity Blues, Never Been Kissed, She's All That, American
So
Pie.
good.
What a time.
What a time. Honestly, I'm kind of sad we don't get as many teen
Yeah,
movies
take
like
me
this
back.
or like anything that you read off. I mean, what a time. This was like teen time.
They make
late
teen
90s.
movies now, but they're not like this winky style. Like
I think
teen
everyone's
movies.
too
They're taking
scared.
it too seriously.
And they're rarely
Yeah.
in theaters. It's going to be like a streaming thing, so it's like not everyone watches.
Well, we do have a Cruel Intentions TV show coming out, so maybe this
That's
will,
fun.
you know, be similar to the movie.
Jesse, you watched some of the TV show?
I did. I've watched like the first few episodes, and I thought that it was going to be like a continuation of the story or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's connected in any
Sebastian
way.
and Annette's
Oh,
love
Sebastian.
child.
Wow.
But it is not. Or at least so far, there's no like connection to the characters from the movie. But it's like it's very matching the like plot points
Yeah.
of the movie. Of like,
See, I was not expecting that.
yeah, it's a little in your face about it. Like they literally do the stepbrother and sister are kind of into each other and make a bet about sex thing.
I am
Like,
shocked by that. I
yeah.
definitely thought
In
they would
2024
take that
we're
away.
doing that.
I like
But-
you can just call it Cruel Intentions if
Yeah.
it's that. If it's just like
it's
step
all you
sibling
need
porn.
is step siblings. Like
It does kind of feel that way. But you know
Making
what?
a
Step
bet.
siblings can do it. I don't know.
He's
Jill's been
what?
watching too much
What did you
porn.
just say?
I just mean like
Are you on cocaine right now?
it depends on how long they
no
live
blood.
together in a home. That's what I would really need to know. There's a lot of like I
Don't
don't know.
reproduce.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay,
I'm
cutting
gonna
this.
stop speaking. Cut this. Mark that
Cruel
up.
Intentions, their children would have been a fun thing for the TV show. I do
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
Yeah, I thought that it would be like The Descendants.
Well,
or something.
doesn't this one take place in college?
Yeah, so they're they're in college, and it's
Yeah.
like the sorority fraternity.
So they're not in New
situation.
York in this one.
No.
That's kind of a bummer. But if they did it in New York like that, everyone would think it's Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have
Yeah,
to change
they've
it
done
up a
that.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
The
do
college
have
thing's
though
fun.
the rosary cocaine necklace makes an appearance,
Oh, thank
Oh.
God.
which is very fun.
I mean, that was the main star of the movie,
Yeah.
so we need that in the TV show.
Yeah. But it's good so far. Yeah, I'll probably finish it this week, but
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
talk
gonna-
about it soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this week. I'm excited.
I like your idea of a couple Sebastian's kids, a couple of Ronald's kids, just like all these.
Yeah, bring Ronald back for the TV show. He
Ronald's
never went
released
away
from
in the
prison.
movie. Yeah. And he wants to get revenge.
Yeah. All right. You want to play the game, Jesse?
Let's play a little game.
Explain to the game.
You want me to explain it, or you want to explain
You
it?
can explain it.
Explain it.
Jesse made a little game for us.
I made a game by request. So what I did was I looked up, because Cruel Intentions has so many spin-offs and sequels that have been inspired by it. There's a lot out there when I started looking it up. I'm going to read the synopsis, like a 1 or 2 sentence synopsis, and you tell me if it sounds real. The other thing I did was then I asked ChatGPT to write some fake synopses. So we'll see. And it came up with some fun ones inspired by. I basically gave it all the Cruel Intentions movie synopses and said, write me like 3 or 4 fake movies
This is
that would be
fun.
from the
That's
same
fun. That's a
world.
good use of AI.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing this myself. So.
Okay,
No.
so you pulled from any movie, anything that was
Movie or
in the
show
universe
or whatever
sequel using
that
the
was
cruel.
in the Cruel Intentions universe. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So real Cruel Intentions sequel or Chat GPT.
Yes. Real
I'm
or
ready.
sequel or ChatGPT.
I'm
And we'll
ready.
let you each weigh in, and then I'll reveal. And extra points if it's real, and you can tell me like what it is.
Which
Oh,
one?
wow.
The name of it?
Yikes.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Okay.
Tyler has his game face on.
We'll start with kind of an easier one. At Manchester College, step-siblings Caroline and Lucian work to stay on top of the social ladder. After a hazing scandal, they plot to seduce the daughter of the Vice President of the United States to maintain power.
This is the TV show.
Tyler?
Okay, that does sound similar to what you described. Or I feel like you might have let
That's
the
why I
cat
said
out of the
it's kind of
bag.
easy.
So I'm going to say that's real, and
Yes.
that's the TV show.
Yes, that is the real synopsis of the TV show.
It's the Vice President of the United States.
His daughter.
Wow.
I'm more thrown off by that it's Manchester University
Yeah.
and they went to like Manchester school in
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions, the movie.
It's like a little on the nose.
I think that's like 2 on the nose.
Yeah.
That's annoying me.
a lot of it is a little like that.
I thought we were going like we're just using the name and having a schemy show. Like that's
Yeah.
really what I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be. So I'm surprised.
Okay. Once
Okay.
again,
So that was real. That was the TV show.
real Cruel Intentions sequel or Chat GPT.
Okay, real or ChatGPT. After mysteriously inheriting a European royal title, Catherine uses her newfound power to manipulate an entire monarchy. In a shocking twist, she orchestrates a plot to seduce the crown prince while simultaneously blackmailing the royal family into giving her control of the throne.
I'm going to go ChatGPT.
Tyler?
Man, does Catherine end up manipulating an entire country to get control of the crown?
I am like, is this Cruel Intentions too? But I'm still
I love that I am like,
I'm still gonna go
I know you act like that's crazy, but like,
I know.
I don't know.
I'm still
like-
gonna go ChatGPT. I can't imagine they brought a whole country into this. She barely leaves her bedroom.
That's kind of like Princess Diaries too.
All right, you got to make
All
a
right,
call.
let's do Chat GPT.
That is ChatGPT.
Woo!
Good job.
Nice. 2 for 2.
Okay, trying to
Well,
decide.
you're just
what
going
order
off
to
of
do
what
things
I'm
in.
saying.
Well, let me go first next time.
Yeah, let Tyler go first next.
Fine.
As a rebellious teenager, Sebastian is drowning in debt to a dangerous underground gambling ring and hatches a plan to seduce the daughter of a mafia kingpin in order to settle the score.
He's drowning in gambling debt?
I mean, I know what I want to say on this.
We didn't see him gamble in the movie.
But he's dead, so it has to be ChatGPT, right?
Oh, that's a good point. I think this is real.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm still going to go ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Because he's dead. I'm confused.
It is ChatGPT.
I thought it would just be some crazy sequel that ignored that. That just was like, whatever.
I would not be shocked if they did that. You're not wrong.
And that sounds like a
I will
pretty
say
interesting...
one of the real ones is a prequel.
Oh, see?
I might be giving this away.
I thought that was a possibility that it could be a prequel.
Okay, I kind of want to watch a prequel. That sounds good.
Okay.
That's Gossip Girl.
15 years after the death of her brother, villainous Catherine seeks to manipulate her nephew, Sebastian and Annette's son, and gain control of the family business, Valmont International.
I think this is real.
I think that's real.
That is real. That is the Cruel Intentions TV movie.
Wow. Oh my God.
Does that have any original cast members in
I
it?
think Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it.
Really?
Oh
You
my
think she-
God.
From my
She
limited
reprises
research.
Catherine.
Yeah. I don't know that it ever got like fully released, but yeah.
Okay, I kind of
So,
want to
but
watch
that
that.
means
Sounds good.
That means they had a kid.
That's what I said earlier. I
I
said
triple Googled that because I was like, what?
She's pregnant driving away in that Jaguar.
I guarantee you
We
that
love
they,
lose your virginity, get pregnant in the same
yeah.
instance.
I guarantee you that they regretted killing him off, knowing that they could have done a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this would have been sequel gold, and I feel like they were like, "No,
I knew that had to be real because, like, a woman can't not be punished for losing her virginity.
Yeah, she had to have a baby, even though he was having sex with everybody. But she's the one person he impregnates.
Wacky.
Okay, 2 more.
I wish that when she was driving the car away, she just would have like touched her stomach.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so good. She
That
just
would've been
touches
good,
him.
right? If I wrote that movie, I would have been like, Reese, just grab the stomach real
She
quick.
pulled like a Rihanna in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would have been good.
Okay. Sebastian clashes with his scheming stepsister, Catherine, while pursuing the headmaster's virtuous daughter, only to discover the two women secretly plotting against him, leading to a shocking threesome.
This sounds plausible. I don't know. I might go ChatGPT.
I think it's real.
That is real. That is Cruel Intentions 2, which is the prequel.
Oh, Cruel Intentions 2 is a prequel.
Wow. Leading to a shocking threesome is
I know.
the synopsis?
I was like, that's in the
How shocking.
synopsis.
All right, I want to watch that too.
We're tied now.
These are
That
sounding
sounds
good.
I think we're tied.
Okay, last one.
Tiebreaker.
Catherine and her protege attempt to take over a Las Vegas casino using sex lies and manipulation to outmaneuver everyone in their path. They enlist a former rival, now a famous illusionist, to stage a heist during high-stakes magic show.
This sounds like Ocean's 14.
This sounds fun.
I'm going to go ChatGPT. You lost me at Magic Show.
Well, then I'll say it's real so we don't tie.
It is ChatGPT.
Oh,
I won.
that's fun. That's a
That's
good
good.
movie.
I told ChatGPT to like be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It gave me like a European monarchy,
The monarchy,
Las Vegas
the
casino, and
magic
mafia.
show heist.
We were believing it, though.
I know, it was believable.
That
It
was
good.
fun.
The one last thing I'll say, I couldn't really make this work in the game, but there's also a Cruel Intentions the musical.
Really?
Oh, no, I knew about that.
Yeah.
The whole cast, showed up to it.
Yeah, it's
Like
Was
Sarah
this here
Michelle
in New
Gellar,
York?
Reese
It was
Witherspoon,
in
and Selma Blair.
2015.
Yeah, this was like a big thing. I think it was only in LA. It wasn't here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looked
And
like fun, but I was like, but the synopsis is Cruel Intentions, so I
Yeah.
can't really make that part of the game.
I mean,
but I
it
thought
wants
it'd
to be a musical when you watch it.
Yeah.
Because, like I
Yeah.
said, there's music throughout just all the scenes for no reason.
They got
it's
to bring
great.
that back. I want to see it.
But good game, guys. I think Jillian won.
Thank
I'm
you,
the
producer
winner.
Jesse.
So,
That was fun.
That was fun. I mean, wow. What a journey.
What
What
a
a
film.
movie.
Are you going to watch Cruel Intentions TV show?
Well, definitely. We're
Do you
going
think
to
you'll
watch
cover it
it.
on
We're
the-
going to talk about it.
You're going to cover it on the podcast?
Yeah. I'm not watching it and not talking about it.
Okay.
So we're going to cover it. So everyone tune in next week for that app. It's going to be very fun. We'll see if it lives up to the movie.
What a film.
I mean, I feel like this changed your life, me making you watch this.
I like this movie. This
Yeah.
guy, I think the only thing I had seen that this director had made was Just Friends.
Oh, wow.
Holiday classic.
Yeah, 2 great movies. What a
my
catalog.
favorite holiday movie of all time. Like, straight up.
Tune in next week for Just Friends.
It's not a teen movie, but
Well, there's high
Me
school
and my-
elements.
I was gonna say, me and my one of my best friends from high school, who's like the only person I hang out with when I go home every year. When I go home for Christmas, we watch that
That's
movie
cute.
because it's like our favorite.
I mean, there's
Christmas
a lot of
movie.
high school elements in it. That's
It
like
is
a big
very,
part of the
yeah.
movie. Yeah.
It's fun.
You know, they just
I remember
don't.
Anna Faris singing that song, All
Yeah.
People.
Forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Forgiveness.
Doesn't mean you say you're sorry.
Yeah. It was like peak of fat suits, too.
We need to be singing.
Peak fat suits.
We need to be singing bittersweet symphony this life.
I don't want to do it.
All right, never mind. That would be a good ending. Anyways, thank you all for listening and going on this journey with us. If you have not watched Cruel Intentions, the movie recently, give it a watch. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think it holds up as well as we thought it did.
Streaming on Amazon right now.
I know. There you go. All right. I'm going to start watching Cruel Intentions, the TV show. So I think you all should too, listeners. We will watch it together. Be sure to tune back in for that app. And Tyler, it has been a pleasure having you on
Thank
today.
you for finally having me on the podcast.
He's been wanting to come on. This was fun.
It was fun. Thanks for making me watch Cruel Intentions.
Well, thanks for talking about it. And tell our listeners where they can find you.
Well, if you're listening this late into a movie recap podcast, follow me on Letterboxd. What am I on there? I think I'm TG Branch or something.
He pays for
pay
Letterboxd
for your
Premium.
Letterboxd.
Yeah, he pays for Letterboxd
I
Premium.
love Letterboxd. Coming soon, a list of movies that involve virginity bets.
That's what we all want. This movie really did have everything: virginity, bets,
Scandal.
schemes,
Inter-family
sexual
tension.
Yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right. Well, that about does it. We're going to go to dinner. So, all right. Thank you for making it this long, everybody. Be sure to rate and review us. Give us those 5 stars. I would love that so much. It's the holiday season, so please be giving. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at @previously_on_teen TV. Are you ready to do it?
Thanks for listening.